All right, that one's way better. Look at that.
Oh yeah, much better.
Hold on.
I feel like the camera's directly on me.
It is directly on you. We're back though, Kev.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, Rick, it is directly on you because you're the producer. Apparently, Wendy, if she ever listens, took your job as the producer.
What?
Yeah,
Fuck that bitch.
sorry. It is what it is.
Give me a skank asshole.
Hey, I do
Oh,
have a
sorry.
question for one of our listeners out there.
Just kidding.
Casey Black, where have you been the past couple weeks? I haven't seen him on.
I don't think he listens on the live video.
He's on the live video right now.
I know, but normally I don't think he listens on live video. He listens on his own time,
Oh,
on his personal time.
interesting. Well, thank you for joining us live. But
But now you say that, I only see Casey Black March Madness.
Really?
Only time I ever see him and Shark. For some reason, I always meet up with them.
It's
at
not
a
gonna
bar.
be this year.
Because Shark's.
Sharks in Arizona.
well, maybe he'll come out. If
he'll
he's
come-
going to take it out off of
Yeah,
work,
he
he
says
might as well come down.
he says he works and this is the podcast on other days.
Oh, okay, interesting.
The only time I ever see Casey Black.
March Madness.
March Madness at a bar, and they're very generous when I show up to the bar.
He said, "Pick me up, Rick."
Who's that?
Casey Black.
Casey Black?
He wants to hang out with you on March Madness. He wants to keep the fucking tradition alive.
I usually have like a random ass day off, dude. I don't want to tell Michelle, so I just go to the bar. Stop listening, Michelle. If you're listening, stop listening.
So with March, March is still a month and a half away, but right now we're kind of in the middle.
March is probably the greatest month of the whole year.
Yeah,
It seriously is. The greatest month of all time.
really.
Yeah. A lot of great people were born that month. Shaq being one of them.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done great things.
Yeah. Like me.
Okay, I don't know if you count
What the fuck?
57 episodes
Google
of a podcast.
famous celebrities born on March 6th and see if my name comes up.
That would be a producer job.
Yeah. He's producing right now.
I got you.
What?
You don't have to put your phone down, Rick.
What
You
you
can
say?
keep your phone in your hand. I
I
have a question for you. Why do you keep picking up your phone if you have one of those fancy watches that connects
I
to your
don't.
phone?
I can't multitask, so when you guys are talking and I'm looking at my phone, I
Yeah.
don't hear you guys. You guys are blocked. Like right here's the wall.
So Rick's a great guest, as you can tell.
So
Thank you.
glad we have your full attention, Rick. This is right up your alley, actually.
Talk to me.
We are in the last week of January,
Yes. Last days.
last days.
Yeah, tomorrow's last day.
Yeah, it is.
Her brother's birthday.
Happy birthday, Si.
He's not on, so.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Bucks high.
Super Bowl's in a
Happy
couple
Si.
of days.
Oh, Rick's favorite fucking.
Rick's got money on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right, you got
Only with
squares.
him.
So it's
Hey,
interesting.
Hey, you owe me $100.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I went
I'm
on.
not good for it, so.
I didn't say nothing. I was just joking. Relax. Fuck.
Got kind of heated there.
Yeah, no.
A couple of weeks ago, I said
Fuck with friends
that
and money.
the Rams going to the Super Bowl was. No. I didn't say that. I'm gonna take that back. I never said going to the Super Bowl was a tragedy. The fact that they lost the game because of a blown call
They
was
as
a
the
tragedy.
Saints. The Saints.
You're right. I'm sorry. The Saints losing the game because of a blown call was a tragedy.
Travesty.
Could be both.
I know, but you said travesty though. I want to make sure that our listeners know. What
I
you said
mixed
that.
up my titties.
Yeah.
I think the Rams. I think they're good enough to be there to be a Super Bowl team. They're obviously were a
Of course, they were
contender.
the Final
Sure.
Four. They were one of the final four, so definitely good enough.
So I'm not going to take that away from them, but I do think that the Saints should be in the Super Bowl, not them. Not based off of team talent, quality, any of that. Just
By the actual game.
by the game itself. That being said, and let's not try and predict the game because we're fucking awful at that. What do you foresee this Super Bowl?
You know, I had an argument with this guy at the bar, but he was super drunk, and Candace was like kicking me because like I was like getting upset because he was like bringing out like facts that were not facts. I think I think it's gonna be a close game. What Super Bowl has the Patriots ever played in that it wasn't close? One,
Right.
two.
Actually, the Falcons one wasn't close for the first half. not even in their favor.
I mean, besides that game, they won by 6.
Right.
I
It's
want to
closer.
say all the other games they either lost or won by under 5 points.
Yep.
I could be wrong. I'm almost positive I'm right though. And then so secondly, when the initial line came out, the Rams were underdogs by 1.5 points.
Right.
But because all the money was overwhelmingly coming in on the Patriots, it swung the line to 2.5 points in favor of, or I guess the Rams were now the underdog.
Right.
Okay.
But that's from a betting line, not from what?
Now, yeah. So if the opening line was 1.5, I have to think that the Rams are the better team, which is why I put $100 on them to win, and I also put $50 on the Aretha Franklin to sing more than a minute and 45 seconds.
Come on, baby, carry those notes
Yeah,
out.
I need her to sing more than a minute 45 on that national anthem.
Somebody once pointed out, and going back, I looked at the box scores pretty quickly.
I always look at the box.
Not
I don't necessarily look at it all the time.
not in depth, but they said the Patriots always, in every Super Bowl, start super slow. So I would assume that it would be the same thing. I would not be surprised if the Rams jumped out to like a 2-possession lead.
The problem is they need to keep the fucking foot on the.
Yeah.
I feel like we shouldn't be talking about this with Rick here, though, dude. Because like Rick's not gonna say nothing when I do this. So Rick doesn't like sports, for those of you that don't know. Although he was probably our most athletic friend. Might not look it anymore, but he was.
Still am, bitch.
Yeah, probably right.
I guarantee you could not pole vault half the height that you did in high school.
They don't have a pole that'll.
14-6. You telling me I can't?
You just. I'm
17-3. I'm 7-3. Oh, for sure.
I'll bet you $20 you can't pole vault over 7'3" right now.
Well, maybe.
If there's any way we could prove this,
Yeah,
I would up my bet way higher than that.
I think the coolest thing about Rick pole vaulting was like he used to tuck his dick in so that when he jumped over the pole, that's when his dick was big. Remember?
It's only because I went commando most of the time.
Is that why?
You remember that?
And then this one would stop.
When he'd be running.
Start over.
And then I have to start this bitch over again. Fuck.
When he's about to start with a fucking pole in between his legs.
Yeah.
I can still go over 7-3 dick.
I bet you can't find a pole that'll get you over 7'3".
I use a fucking branch, fool.
He said a branch.
Branch.
That's even probably weaker. Just a fucking lead pipe.
You know, 7'3" is only like about as tall as you. A little bit taller. A little bit taller.
7'3" is pretty big.
No, I know, which is why I said.
It's like
7'3"
super
Shaq's
short.
height.
It's like right here. You're like, it's nothing. It's nothing.
It's really not right here, but okay.
I bet you your ceiling is 8 foot.
Oh, for sure.
Probably.
So
It's
for
not
argument's sake,
tall
let's say
at
8.
all. So if I had a stick,
I don't think you could hold on to the pole to throw you over it.
I'm more athletic than you think, Kev.
You were trying to hold back laughter.
Shit.
Because remember, it's not the height. You have to be able to
Pole vault
set
yourself?
the pole, hold on to it while the pole picks you up. I don't think you make it.
For sure you knock over the pole like 7
If we can ever actually do this,
And I'm not allowing him like 6 tries. You get 1 shot. I don't think you do it.
Let Rick train for a month.
No, that's
no.
different.
I'm
That's
gonna train,
different.
dude.
That's
It's almost
different.
7'3".
Remember that one time Rick said that he could run a mile in under 8 minutes or whatever?
13 minutes, Dick.
Was it 13 minutes?
Yes. Robert, right?
Yeah.
Bachelor party.
I
right?
want to say it was 10
It's
minutes.
13. It's 13.
And you didn't get close to that, right?
I didn't even try.
Oh. That's even worse.
The best was when Tony said he could beat Rick
Oh,
in
then
the
I
400.
spanked him.
Oh, yeah, and then he fucking pulled a hamstring.
He pulled a hammy on the
But it really didn't.
first 100 meters.
Yeah,
And then,
because
like-
Tony took off sprinting.
Because you got to run fast in order for
The
you to-
400's hard. You have to run
Yeah,
the 400.
You,
You
have
can't
to,
sprint it
You have
and
to
you can't jog
maintain your.
it. It's a run. It's a run, but it's not a sprint.
I used to date a
And
girl that ran the 400.
That's a good one.
She broke my heart.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Or did you break hers?
I'm serious.
Last week was the Pro Bowl,
Yeah.
and the Pro Bowl's shitty.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. The events going up to it are fun.
What would you do to change it?
Like the actual game.
Yeah.
I think I'd make it a tackle / flag football game. Where
You got to do one or the other.
no, well, the reason is because towards the end of the game, you barely touch the guy and they just call the whistle on him. I feel like if you can tackle him, you tackle them. If not, like because right now, like you barely touch the guy, like the guy with the ball, and they'll just call it dead because they're not trying to tackle each other.
Right.
But if they had a flag on them, they would try to pull the flag,
Interesting.
and I think that would make it like kind of like a dual threat. I mean, it still wouldn't be good, but I think
Yeah.
it'd be more entertaining because it's like say for instance, a lot of the guys were playing defense that were offensive players,
Yeah.
which I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And then they intercepted a ball and they were like playing like a backyard scrum, or whatever. But no one was really blocking. No one was really trying to tackle them. Like
Because they don't want to get hurt.
Yeah,
And
but,
I understand.
but you can run
that.
after full speed after someone and try to grab the flag.
Yeah.
And I think that would make it a little more competitive. I don't know, dude. It's fucking the Pro Bowl. Who cares?
Personally, I think they ought to make it a pro-am. All these dudes who say, "Oh, I could play NFL football if it was patty cake and this and that." Like, oh well, the way that they're not allowed to tackle. I'm talking real games, not Pro Bowl. Real game. Oh, this is such a cupcake league. I could play in it. Okay, come on out. Come on out.
You're
The
gonna kill
pros
people, dude.
do it flag. I still think a pro player will juke your average Joe and break his ankle and run past him.
Okay, there's a
at
movie
flag.
called Invincible. Have you seen it?
No, I don't watch shit with the Eagles.
I don't get it. Why are you upset about that?
I don't like the Eagles. Fuck them.
I mean, they've really been irrelevant for
Yeah,
50 years.
yeah.
Okay, whatever.
They beat the Packers in a really bad way, kicked us out of the playoffs. It was ugly.
Yeah, a lot of teams get kicked out of the playoffs by other teams.
Yeah, all but two actually.
Yeah. They kind of showed like what happens when the average Joe tries out for a fucking football team. Pretty terrible, dude.
Yeah, which is why I think it would be great to watch
They had a thing called like
average Joe's versus Hoes.
Joe's versus Jocks. or
Joe's
something.
versus Hoes.
No.
No.
No,
Joe's versus pros.
Joe's versus Pros.
Damn, how does Rick know this stuff?
It was on FX. It was.
You know what I think should be a bigger sport and
That was
isn't
on TV.
is the lingerie football league.
They're pretty awesome chicks.
They are.
I'm not arguing.
I think, or they should make the guys play in that fucking.
Like the guys playing bikinis. Yeah, I agree.
Not if Anthony is at linebacker. Nah. I think you'd have some guys who held their own.
Oh, then he meant Long Beach.
I thought he meant Long Beach for a second too. It took me a second.
The real Buddy
decipher
Rowe, not if Anthony Mendez is at. I thought he put LB, but
that.
he
In
meant
Long Beach.
linebacker.
Yeah. I just think it'd be funny to get your average guy.
But I don't think people would still watch. I think it would be just.
I don't think people really watch it now.
Or what they should do. I mean, maybe we could do this: have all offensive players play the first, like the normal positions, the first half, and the second half you just switch it off. So all defensive players are offensive players. You have to use a quarterback, whatever guy is on your team,
Whoever could throw.
whoever could throw, and you
Or
just.
or make it a legitimate offense versus defense and switch them.
The Pro Bowl's fucking a lost cause. That's just the truth. The Pro Bowl, nobody gives a fuck about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I don't
It
think
is
so.
like so bad. It's terrible football.
It's almost like they should go back and make it like the combine, but for pros.
They do. They have like these like little
Competitions before.
competitions. Yeah, but it's like the days were
Leading up to
leading
it.
to it. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. The NFL combine gets a really high viewership rating.
Well, because people are interested. Like the Raiders suck. We're gonna. I
Yep,
want to
who
see
are we getting?
Who are we getting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's our possibility? Like, that's why.
I don't know. I think if you did the same thing, you probably wouldn't get as high, but you would definitely get more people to watch than watch the Pro Bowl now. And it's just because they don't want to get hurt. So either make it a flag football where you know no one's going to get hurt,
I mean, people still hurt. They can still
You
get
could,
hurt. They can still
you
get
could,
tear
but-
fucking.
but at the same time you can get hurt in the locker room. You can get hurt walking to the stadium.
You can
Whatever.
get hurt
So
masturbating in your restroom.
you break your wiener. So that's yeah. I don't know what you do with the Pro Bowl. Like I said, I think you make it your average Joe versus your pro, and watch these assholes who think they can play.
The only problem with that is like people are signing up to get CTE because they're gonna get hit a lot harder than they're gonna hit anybody else. That's what you're signing up.
Yeah.
These guys are running 4.4s,
I'm still
and you're
thinking
running
you make it
fucking
a-
6.1s.
I think you still make
If
it
you're
flag.
lucky.
I think you make it flag still, but
Oh, so you agree with me?
oh yeah, If you're not going to hit,
You were denying me earlier.
No.
Now you're agreeing with me.
if you're not going to hit, then make it flag. But I don't think people really want to watch pros against pros playing flag. Maybe they do. Try it. I say try it for a few years. See what
They
happens.
should have that frisbee one. That frisbee fucking.
Frisbee football?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad idea either. Or make it like arena football where you don't get to get off the field. Like you have to stay on, play both ways. I don't know. Just like I said, just ideas. I think you should do flag, and I think you should do it against your average Joe, and just prove how fast 4-4 really is.
It's just. I think it's just hard that to go full speed in a sport that's so reckless.
Yeah, and then the other thing is run 4-4 and then be 300 pounds because
Nah, they don't run like 4-7, but still, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
okay.
So let's move the subject over because Rick looks super bored.
But we have 2 more sports.
Mm,
We're 8 days away from the trade deadline. What is the Lakers gonna do?
no, they're not gonna do anything.
It was just that's
The
it.
Pelicans are gonna trade with them.
Okay.
They don't want. It takes two to tango. You know that.
That is true.
If they, that's why it's called trade rape. If they just stole the person from them,
Yeah. All right. And we'll talk Dodgers next week
when Rick's not here.
when producer
Just-
Rick is.
Rick looks so.
Go
sad.
ahead, dude.
No, but I like when you're talking.
Rick, we're gonna make another hard turn on our topics here. You ready?
Yeah, sure. I thought we were gonna do Dodgers. I'm down. What's up?
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
you're not. Rick, give us your opinion on women breastfeeding in public.
I'm a father of 2 now, and if my wife felt like she needed to breastfeed in public, and somebody wanted to say something, oh, it'd be bad. It'd be bad for them. I think it's up to the women. If they're comfortable doing it, do it. Most women, I would say, are not. As to the guys or the public who's judging these women who are breastfeeding in public, I don't think that they have a say. I think that they should just mind their business, keep going about their business, and do that.
What's the big deal with that? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's because of fucking random titties fucking being shown or what?
Like they think it should be done behind doors. You know, like it's.
It's like any other day, I'd be down to see a random titty, except for not. I'm saying that's what like they're saying. Like any other day, you'd be down to see a random titty, but except when the baby's mouth is on it.
Baby's mouth is covering it up. You know, it's
Well, because she can't have. She doesn't have the option to cover herself up real quick. There's a little baby, you know, so she can't just be like, oh, hang on. So she's just stuck there. So now like her titty's out, and so now she's vulnerable. So
I think there's just been a shift because I think there's always been support for women breastfeeding where they need to. Like, I've never heard anybody go, she shouldn't fucking do that here. But I think the switch has come recently from, I mean, just a handful of years ago, when most women would throw a light blanket over themselves and just kind of tent off their titty and the baby and feed, to now it's almost like a political statement. I'm not gonna cover up my tit, I'm just gonna have it hang out and feed my child wherever I want.
It's no more than a pasty though, right?
What, the baby? Pretty much.
Covering up the nipple.
Pretty much. For me, if you want to do that in public, that's on you. I wouldn't want my wife or the mother of my child to do it in public. If you need to breastfeed, I would have her throw the blanket over herself, get the baby under the blanket and feed like that. But that's me from my property standpoint.
This is also coming from the same guy that said he could date a porn star.
None of you guys really did anything with the whole my property thing. I was hoping for like you're a
I don't know what
dick,
you mean
fuck
by
you.
my property.
Thank you, Rick. Something
no.
where I could then feed off of that joke. It's really
like a baby feeds off a titty.
There you go. You guys left me hanging. The context just went right out the
Kind of
window.
like a left titty that's getting sucked on.
Now everybody's gonna think I'm the fucking asshole.
Well, I mean,
I am a little bit.
Yeah,
she is your property.
Thank you, Rich.
You don't own her? I don't get it.
I thank you. I appreciate that. That's where someone was supposed to help me out on that joke.
Damn, we're gonna be hashtag me too.
Yeah.
Don't listen to that. If I said it, I meant that podcast.
For real. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, like,
Oh, we
I
were
wouldn't
losers.
want the mother of my child to just flip her boobie out and then put the baby on. Like, let's throw a blanket over it, and it is what it is. But
People do get like freaked out about that shit. Huh?
people get grossed out. Is like, ew, lactating nipple, I guess. And then I think there's
I
just
think it's just not common. So when someone sees something that's out of their comfort zone, it's like, oh, come on, what are you doing? But it's like, you know what? Like, this is life. Now, just because you're 25 and don't know what this is, you know what I mean? It's like, come on. Or 35 and don't know what this is.
I've sucked on enough titties in my life. Different titties.
So lactated?
Some of them have. Shit. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is I don't know many women, at least in my group of friends, who would want to just, let's say, sit at the bar and whip their tit out and
well,
feed their child.
I doubt they'd be at a bar.
I don't know. I took RJ to a bar and he was like 3 months
Oh,
old.
Chili's.
Chili's. It was a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's a
but
family establishment.
But we were in the bar.
Yeah, you were at the bar
He was
area.
he was propped up on the handicapped part of the
Yeah.
bar. He was like,
He wasn't drinking though.
no, not much.
Some titty. Little titty milk.
I don't know, he was like 2. I took him to Gardens, but again, we took him to the grill part, not the bar.
Yeah.
Gardens Bar and Grill.
Passing the telegraph.
But I mean, it's like, I just see it from a,
Is it more women that get upset or men? I really don't know honestly because I mean it's not really something that.
I think it's much
Does
more
ever bother
men.
me.
Much
It's,
more men.
it's much more men.
It's so weird.
And I think it's weird because it has become more of like part of the women's empowerment movement. And I don't know how using your child like that really makes it an empowering thing.
I feel like if I saw a girl giving or breastfeeding, I'd be like, what's the name from the fucking Hangover when when she just whips out the city, he's just like
Just
staring at her like that would be me, because I'd just be like, damn, I gotta get a glimpse of this titty.
Or like Me, Myself, and Irene, where he slips the baby back into the stroller and he's laying under her just,
Just sucking on her tit.
I don't know. Ladies, let us know if you would feel comfortable breastfeeding.
I don't know how many ladies are listening.
Yeah, probably not many. Well, they might listen and then hit us up later. How you would feel breastfeeding in public. And again, it seems to be more of, I think most women are fine with breastfeeding wherever, but most women will just throw that baby blanket over their shoulder, kind of cover up a little bit, and then pull their boob out, then feed the baby. But I think a lot of empowered women feel that it's their.
I love how you just fucking you're
I'm trying to find the best way
you're
to do it.
sidestepping fucking landlines, fucking mines over here. I'm drunk.
Man minds.
Yeah, man mines.
We're sidestepping man minds.
Yeah, exactly, man mines.
A lot of women
Why gotta be
feel
man?
that
Why can't it be a lady mine?
because it blows people up and it's a negative thing, and we don't associate negative things with women because
What about-
that's the empowerment.
What about bitches?
No. Herpes is now called his piece. I don't know if you saw that one.
Boom.
But I think a lot of women who want,
You gotta start saying people.
A
People
lot
with
of-
breasts and vaginas.
well, a lot of individuals who can breastfeed, you see how I did that? Utilize this opportunity to show their empowerment and do not cover up at all, and will just expose their boob, put the child on it. That's where I think it is the difference. And ladies, let us know which side of showing your boob you're on, whether you would cover it up to feed your child, whether you would expose your boob to feed your child, and then send us DMs if you just want to show your boobs.
Yeah, just send us some
That'd help out,
movies.
too.
I'm down to inspect them.
That'll help
So
out.
since we're choosing whether you want to breastfeed or not breastfeed, what was our choices on In-N-Out versus was it Pizza Hut?
I believe it was Pizza Hut.
What would you choose, Rick?
What was that, Rick?
There's no question there.
Which is?
Pizza Hut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Rick's on the opposite side.
So there was with Rick's vote. Let me tally this up real quick. Hold on. Let me do the math.
It was 1.
There's 7 people that voted for Pizza Hut
Wow.
and 31 people that voted for In-N-Out.
Wow.
They
Fuck
got
those people.
murked.
It's the silent majority that didn't vote, Rick.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'll still order Pizza Hut over In-N-Out
That's fine.
all day, every day.
Rich, what do we have for dinner tonight?
In-N-Out.
Fuck you.
That's what I thought. So moving on then, we got to go to the bottom of the bracket here. This one's an interesting one. This one's the Battle of the Beaners.
This is real Mexican food right
It is. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, we need to sneeze.
It's okay.
We do need a sneeze button. We are looking at the competition of Del Taco versus Taco Bell. This one's a little tricky.
Sounds like Ricky's taking a piss, but he's really just pouring his drink out.
Yeah.
Out, but out of the bottle.
Before we go giving our own opinions,
Uh huh.
I have one question.
I have an answer. Hopefully.
Are we voting based off of Taco Bell with or without nacho fries?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Nacho fries change the game.
Nacho fries changed the game for me, dude. Because then
For
you could
Del
get
Taco?
then you could get French fries at Taco Bell.
I mean,
French fries were never offered at Taco Bell.
I would have voted Taco Bell regardless, so I don't know. If it
Can you give
matters.
me parameters? I mean, just make an executive
Whatever you
decision.
want. And whatever makes you happy. It's which one you want better. Which one? Okay, if you're on a deserted island and there was only one restaurant you could eat from, which are those 2 options? Which one will it be?
Del Taco or Taco Bell?
Yeah.
I need to know if this deserted island has Taco Bell with nacho fries or without.
With. Do they have them right now?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, then
Yeah, they're back.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the McRib's back too, but
I
who
don't give a
cares?
fuck about it. The McRib was out in the first
They
round.
lost in the first round, so who
First
cares?
game. I'm going Taco Bell.
I think I'm going to talk. Oh, I'm going to talk about too. Rick.
With nacho fries. As
No, do you do breakfast or are you doing it every day, all day?
didn't we say we never had Taco
I've
Bell
never had Taco
breakfast?
Bell breakfast, but I'm
And
still not
Because Taco Bell breakfast sucks, dude. But Del Taco has a epic
Breakfast.
burrito. That's amazing.
I would still get the bean and cheese burrito for the breakfast.
No. Epic burrito has like 6 eggs, steak.
I'd get nacho fries for breakfast.
No, you would not.
Fuck you. Don't you dare judge me. Yes, I would. Nacho fries are fucking awesome.
They're papas basically, so I see that.
Not basically. Just translate.
Okay, well, for everyday purposes, I would talk about all day long. But breakfast?
No, you gotta choose one.
Nope, Del Taco can't be fucked with.
So you're only choosing Del Taco for the breakfast.
Only the breakfast.
Okay.
Everything else, Taco Bell.
All right. Well, we'll see what other people say. So our last segment of the day is what the questions. Well, we only have what 1 or 2. Yeah, people weren't very interesting today.
I guess maybe we weren't really interesting today.
Maybe.
We have a couple of listeners that reached out to us. Let's see.
This is good radio right here.
This is good radio. So let's start with the first question. Again, from a fan who we're not going to give out the information because
It's not Rick.
if you want to come to us and ask us true real life advice, that's what we're here for. We're here to make life just a little better for somebody, somewhere, sometime. That's
Probably not though.
probably not.
No.
We're going to fuck up your life.
Yeah,
But-
don't listen to us, but we'll give you an answer.
But we enjoyed the questions. Okay, so apparently this person, you know what? I'm just going to make up the backstory, and I'm going to say that this person is a dude, and he asked a chick to marry him, utilizing a family heirloom ring. And I'm going to assume that it was from his side of the family. And when you ask a girl to marry you, that is your ring until she says yes. And then once she says yes, technically it's her ring. Apparently they're getting divorced. And because it is the family heirloom, he wants it back. What would you do, Rich?
I'm the guy, right? Or am I the girl?
Hold on.
I'm talking about in your scenario. Bro.
Oh,
Bacon too now.
yes, you are a guy.
I am a guy. In
Yeah.
the scenario,
You're all man.
am I the girl? Or are you asking me from the girl's point of view?
Give me both sides.
Ooh, just the way I like it.
Give me,
All right. So I would hope.
I come off real gay sometimes.
Both of you do, but
I get off real gay sometimes.
Yeah. I don't even know how to follow up with
No, yeah.
that.
Cock ring.
So from the guy's point of view, I would hope that you would just come out here like straight, like look at like I told you that this ring like was in my family, blah 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 blah. Like
Yeah. It was a
Please-
World War II ring.
please give a Holocaust
Oh,
ring.
she
A
did-
Holocaust ring.
she's a decent person at all. She would know what the ring meant to you in the
Yeah.
first place.
Yeah, but let's be real. If you're having a divorce, there's probably not much
Yeah, fuck you.
cordialness going on.
Yeah, unless you like hate your family too.
I mean, maybe your family's the reason why you're getting divorced. There's a possibility. I'm just giving you like the basic premise on my point, from my point of view. I would hope that you'd be able to like just have a conversation with her and let her know, and I would hope that on her side, she'd be understanding and be like, this is not something that he went out and bought, which is actually kind of cheap on his end, I'm sure, but
Means more.
it means more to him than it does to her. And really, why is she gonna keep it? Like, what would be the reason why she would keep a family heirloom?
Yeah.
Like,
Unless she's gonna pawn
Fuck
it.
him over.
yeah, which
Yeah.
I can totally
Oh,
get.
yeah,
That's
no,
what I was
yeah.
saying. Like, I would hope.
I don't get it, but I could see it happening.
I'm sure it's happened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I agree with you, Rich. I think you go and you just say, hey, look, this was a family heirloom, all right? It was hard for my grandmother to get it out of Hiroshima before the bomb dropped. Like, it's radioactive,
Right?
right? It's got powers.
That's the reason why our relationship was toxic.
Yeah, it could. See?
Sorry, my bad. I wasn't paying attention earlier when he said property. I'm sorry. Okay.
Thanks. Thank
But
you.
I'm engaged now.
But it's
Not engaged. Or not in. Wait.
it's the same word.
It's the same word.
Yes,
But
same word.
engaged.
damn it.
No, I think you're right. Like, hey, listen,
I got a ring on my finger.
this is a family heirloom. I think if there is bad blood, maybe you go to your ex-wife and ask her to give it back to someone in the family. Like, if you got a brother, maybe she'd be willing to give it to the brother. Like, fuck him, I don't want him having this, but you keep it in the family. Or, you know, go to, if that blood is that bad, like, maybe she'd be willing to circumvent you. Maybe give it, if your parents are still alive, give it to the parents. If there's a kid, then maybe pass it down to the kid. If you don't have kids together, then, you know, like I said, maybe try and ask her if she'd be willing to give it to somebody else in the family who has a connection with that ring. And that's my.
What do you think, Rick?
I agree. I totally agree. I think that should happen. Might not always happen.
Yeah.
And if you guys ever need any help getting any rings back, you guys just let me know.
From a girl's
I work at a job that we dig a lot of holes very deep. You guys let me know.
From a woman's point of
What's
view,
up?
I think as a woman, you have to be decent enough to respect.
But we also don't know the whole situation. Though.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't. But
Actually,
that-
we probably do if we know this person.
yeah,
as well.
maybe we could probably
We'll probably figure it out.
we could look into it.
Just look on their Facebook or their Instagram. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
But whatever the drama is behind it, it's not your ring. Like, it's not. It's the family's ring. And so find a way to get it back to the family, even if it means you're not giving it back to him. And I would be 100% okay if you said, no, fuck it, it's mine. I just thought of something. Fuck it, it's mine. I fulfilled the obligation. Pay me for it.
Right back. That makes a little bit of sense. But not to like the family sense. But yes,
Yeah,
it does
but-
make a little bit of sense.
I mean, if you want to be a bitch about it, then
yeah,
fuck
give me
it,
my ring
I'll,
back. This is what it means to me.
I'll pay you for it. Like, go get it appraised, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think
They're like, it's fake,
Good.
and you're not gonna get shit for this.
Well,
your
good.
grandma was a liar. It did not come from Auschwitz.
It was made in China, not fucking Japan.
Well, that would work. That would work for some people. So, I hope that helped. Secret reacher outer.
Admirer?
Yeah, no, not admirer, but anyway, I hope that helps.
Here, I got a question for you guys.
Okay,
Do you eat ass? Oh wait, we already had.
we
your
already
ass.
did that one.
The answer is yes for Kevin.
Yeah. Don't judge.
And Rick.
And Rick. Yeah. And if you're that special guy or gal,
Rich too.
Holla.
You ready for the next question?
Sure.
Question number 2. We're not going through 21.
Oh, okay. I was like, that was so.
How soon should you text after the first date? We should.
I should be an expert on this.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should start with you.
I don't. No, I'm just kidding.
He's single, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
Single.
I
All of this.
Record number of first dates. Record number of not having a
So
second date.
the technical answer to that is depending on how the date went, because obviously if like they came home with you, then
Just
the
cool
date
as
never
fuck.
ended. But let's just say you guys just went out, hung out, and then they went home.
Even if she spent the night and at some point that date's gonna end.
True.
Maybe.
So the technical answer to that is,
Go.
did you get home safe?
Oh,
She says
that's-
yes, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So you go back and forth. But then the response to that after is, I mean, I don't mind texting the day after that.
Yeah.
Just a small talk or whatever. I guess the real tricky one is after you get somebody's number, when you text them. I think that one's more trickier than after the first date.
Huh.
What do you guys think?
I agree. If you're at a bar and you're hanging out and having a good time, and you get some random girl's number, when do you text her to be like, "Hey, I
wanna
had a
put-
good
I wanna
time.
put my penis inside of you.
Let's make
Alright.
it something."
Let's
you know.
tackle that question first. When do you text after you just got the number?
I'd say 2 to 3 days.
Depends on the day.
I have been out of the game for 14 years.
Damn, have you been out of the game
Really?
for 14
Really?
years?
Michelle, how long?
This is my 10th year married, so I have 14.
Oh, nice job, Rick.
This is 13, but going on 14.
I'm
This is my
surprised someone is
So
willing to
is
put
she
up
giving
with
you the ring back or no?
She will not give me.
Oh wait,
that.
we're just saying
She's
Rick,
keeping
Rick wasn't the one that asked that question. It was just.
Are you gonna have to? Are you gonna have to buy it back from her, Rick?
It's fake, Ken.
Okay. I think it depends on the day you get the number. If you get the number Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, you text around 3 o'clock the next day. Hey, met you last night, wanted to see how, whatever, make your small talk. Oh, I'm good, about to go into meeting, I'll text you later tonight. Right? There's your like Sunday through Thursday, you use, I can't really get all of involved with the conversation because I'm at work.
It's so crazy how stupid these games are, though.
No, yeah, it's 100% crazy,
Yeah.
but I've really thought about them. Friday night, Saturday, if you get that number on those days, then I think you need to wait till like 2 days. So if you get it Friday night, Sunday evening, hey, what does your week look like? When can we hook up? Saturday
You
night.
mean like hang out?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
okay.
yeah.
When can I eat your ass?
When so I think you have to find kind of like a clever time to just drop like a little text, but then don't be so involved, because if they start going back and responding instantly after everything you send, you're like, okay,
I think Richard does it pretty slick. How he always does it with an event. It's like, hey, we're going
don't
here
give
on
all of
Saturday.
his secrets away.
Oh,
No, I mean, it works. I'm sure.
No, yeah, I'm
Some
sure.
of you know.
Yeah. No, but go in detail.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rick.
We're listening.
All
never,
yours.
never mind, Kev.
We want
It
to
was
hear.
a
I want,
joke,
I want
but-
to hear what you
yeah.
have to say. I want to hear what I'm perceived as.
No, I just like how you kind of like when you have something going on, it's like, well, then go through the list or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I've never been single. I haven't been single in years. So, but
14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
14 years. So like, Rich was like, hey, I invited this chick to this event. You know, like there's an event coming up, and that's what you invite chicks to. So I think like if you meet them at a bar on a Friday, and you got an event on like a Wednesday or Tuesday, it's like shit, perfect. Let's do it.
Kind of true.
It's kind of how
Gotcha.
I
It
see
works.
Rich working.
Yeah.
But I don't know because I've only been here randomly every couple of months, and Rich has.
And they're randomly.
Yeah, there's randomly girls here. It's pretty awesome.
I think you do a good, like a good job with it, but I think it's risky too. Because
Why?
you bring someone to if you bring a stranger to someone and they're just annoying, they could ruin your time.
Well, usually I won't bring around friends. It'll be
Just something that
that
you do that, yeah.
Yeah, something that I wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like they're there, and you're hoping that it like at least
They're there in the morning.
Like when Rich
Yeah.
brings chicks home, and I'm randomly here. That's weird. For Rich.
It's not weird.
Yeah, I was gonna
For
say
Rich.
it's.
For Rich.
I think
I
the
say-
only person it's weird for is the girl.
Oh, probably yeah.
Not really. Honestly, they're just like, why is he sleeping on the couch? Why is he not sleeping in the spare bedroom? Like,
He's drunk.
yeah, he's been drinking all day.
Have not.
My decanters are all empty.
He's too drunk to drive to Pico.
The other,
Just listen.
yeah, the other bed.
So then, Rick, let's go back to the first question. When is it appropriate to text after the first date?
I don't know. I'd say at least 3 days.
After the first date?
Wow.
I would think so.
After you already hung out with them?
The first date. First date.
Like you hung out. Like I'm talking about not meeting them at the bar.
No.
You guys. So
Alone.
now I'm like, hey.
Well, I didn't say meet him at the bar.
Well,
I
I'm just saying,
I
you
was
met
thinking,
them. You met them.
However you met them.
And now we're gonna go have some drinks.
Yeah, the first time you hung out.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Yeah.
let them marinate, let you marinate on whatever happened on the date.
I'm trying to marinate on their face.
We're
So, so I would say 3. I would say 3 days, dude. At least I think
When did you hit them a shot after you guys' first date?
that would be 12 hours.
Yeah, obviously, you're gay. Your daddy, now he got gay.
Real quick, it changed, huh? Like, 3 days.
That's why I'm not getting
I
married.
was
I've been listening to the
15
Rick
years
fucking.
younger, dude.
I've been listening to the Rick fucking point of view.
Playbook?
Shit. Yeah.
I
Not everybody's got the game I got now.
Yeah, obviously.
It's different. It's different.
12 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. Literally saw her the next day.
It wasn't my fault, dude. I had another chick at that party, by the way.
Oh, God.
We're not even gonna get into that.
All right, let's go. Pass.
So if you come to
She didn't like you anyway, fucker.
if you come to Richard's house tonight, Rick will be sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
I think the technical answer, Rich, you're correct. Like, depending on how far she lives, did you get home safe? Or if you dropped her off, you get home and you say, hey, FYI, made it home safe. That's it. And then if she drove home, text me when you get home, just as she's putting her pants back on and wiping cum off her face, it's like, hey, text me when you get home, just so I know you got home safe. Like, common courtesy, like, you're alive. And
It's kind of like when you're about to come and you're like, where do I come? Where do I come?
exactly.
And then they tell you, come my face. You say, okay.
And I think it's also kind of one of those, like, keep
That's
you out of
courteous.
jail. Like, if she ended up dead in a ditch and murdered, your cum's on her face. That's your DNA. Like,
But you said, did you get home safe? Yes.
officer, I asked her to text me when she got home. She didn't. I thought I just got blown off because I blew
Blown
off,
off.
but that's kind of, I think that's the safe way to do it. But I think the next time you reach out, I'm not opposed to Rick's 12 hours. Like, the next day, if you had a good time, if it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see
Like,
what
the next day,
problem is.
like, hey, just want to let you know that I had a good time last night. I hope I can see you again soon, whatever it might be. Let me finish this time, because you gave me blue balls, bitch.
It was a mistake, Kev. Do I look like a happy guy to you?
Yeah,
You do.
That's
Yeah.
I am, actually, yeah.
Between Michelle and Jameson, you're a real happy guy.
Yeah.
Plus your 2 daughters.
My $2.
Yeah. So, you know,
Hopefully we helped a guy
Yeah.
or a girl get their relationship going with their significant
After that first
other
date?
or whatever it is.
and here's the thing too. There are so many weird girls out there that like
Yeah, you're telling me.
they whatever. Hey, just want to let you know I got home safe. Oh, like you don't need to text me like 5 minutes later, blah blah blah, or whatever it might be. Like there are all different types of personalities. You might come across someone who's just like, ew, what psycho texts me 20 minutes later to tell them to tell me I got home. Well, that's that personality. If you want to put up with it, great. If you already got your,
But you're gonna put up with it for the
as long as you need
remaining
to, as long
of
as you
your
need to,
relationship.
as long
with
as
that
you're
broad.
getting some, you're gonna put up with it. But just be aware of that.
The funny thing is, you put up with way more before you
Oh,
get pussy,
yeah.
rather than after you get pussy.
Yeah. Then it's like, look, don't text me. I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
but
It's like, hey girl, I love you.
You know, that's one thing I definitely. Cause so like I'm notoriously like a fast texter. Like I have my
Fast
phone
what?
texter. Like
Oh,
if you
yeah.
text me, I'll respond back. For the most part, pretty quick.
Yeah.
No, obviously there's always like an exception to the rule, but the thing is, if you have that precedence with people, then like you can't, you got to keep that up. So like
Yeah.
if you're not into them, or let's say you're not really sure, you're like, you can't be that person, because then when you're texting back, then what's wrong with you? Did I do something?
Don't like.
It's like, oh, leave me alone.
No, I agree. There's just different personalities. You just need to be honest, Rich, and say I don't like you, and then put the poopy emoji.
No,
Yeah,
see,
but the
thing
problem is
I do like them at some points.
You like
I mean,
them-
in your circles though, you're not
Well-
like your same circles now, no?
Or if you like them horizontal,
Not always the same circle, but it's more like,
bent over your couch.
yeah, those times I do like them. You know,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
So, I don't think there's anything wrong.
With
Girls,
bending
let us
over-
know. Yeah,
bending over the
very
couch?
much so. Girls, let us know if we are a little crazy, but yeah, I'm immediately gonna text you when I get home and say I'm home safe. Or
What do you think, D?
vice
How
versa.
many times, or how quickly, or what was the question? I'm buzzed as fuck.
How soon after a first date should you text somebody?
Yeah, I know you go on dates all the time. What the fuck? How quickly is too quickly?
So, D, just to catch you up because it looks like you just fucking joined.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
We kind of, as men, say that it would be okay to text the person within minutes, whether they took a cab home. If they take a cab home and they're about, let's say, a 20-minute drive, about 30 minutes later, text. Hey, just want to make sure you got home safe. If you drop them off, you get
Good
home.
night.
Hey, just want to let you know I got home safe. Or if you get in an Uber, home safe. That's it. I send him a text when I got home.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Like, home safe, cool. Now, if I want to pick up and start having a conversation with you after that, it's a little weird.
Also,
Give me-
it also depends on how the date went.
And what type of date, too.
Yeah.
Like, if you did a morning breakfast thing for whatever reason,
Yeah, that's not a date.
you don't think so?
Not the first.
You
one.
don't brunch it.
I,
You don't brunch on the
I
first
don't
one.
know. Will Smith did it with Ava Mendes in Hitch.
Again, that's a movie.
It's
It's
not,
hit.
I thought it was a real life documentary.
No, it was a movie.
Oh.
The whole thing about that movie was you don't date.
Yeah, you don't.
You just don't.
Hmm.
You just don't.
Not,
Kevin.
not the first
maybe
one.
I'm
Not the
doing it
first
wrong.
one, at least.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
wait,
right, yeah.
wait until a couple dates. down
Unless
the
you got a
road.
really nice rack, then you just do whatever.
Yeah, I think you guys are both full of shit because if a fucking
She says, but they normally ask her to text them when they
yeah,
get home.
see that makes sense.
See, and
If
what I
there's
do,
a fucking gorgeous girl who asked you out on a date for the first date, both of you, if
Okay,
you
well,
had a
Yeah,
difference
I would actually
you would go out.
switch it to the night.
Yeah, you would go out.
Like,
And
oh man, dude, I can't
okay,
make
but
the 11
if you
o'clock
said
one.
she asked you out,
yeah, first date.
That's different.
that's
The first
different.
date.
She asked you out.
It's a first date.
No. But she asked
So
you
you
out.
show up in a-
Usually the
you
guy's
show up in
asking
a-
her out.
Right. But
You
the question
show up in a
is,
banana hammock.
how long should you wait after the first date? We didn't ask how long should you wait after the
It's
first date.
different,
that you-
Kevin.
I'm just might as well cover all our bases.
No, I don't think that's.
No,
I don't
okay,
think
it
that's
doesn't never happens.
No, I'm saying those are two different. You're saying that
Women
if
nowadays
she asks you out on the first
Work
date,
forward.
if she asks you out on the first date, and the first date happens to be a day date, you wouldn't go. That's the question you
No,
asked
I didn't
her.
say I wouldn't go.
Mm.
I'm
No,
saying how long would you wait to
You
text
said
after
we
that?
weren't going to go. You said you and Rick would still go. That's what
Oh,
you
I
said.
guess, yeah, I think
Yeah,
you would
we're,
still.
we're not disagreeing with you. If she asked us out,
Okay, then
that's
how long
that's what
would
we're
you,
arguing.
how long would you wait after a
She's not
first
gonna be my
date?
site. She's gonna be locked in my room, and she's gonna be stuck there for. No, I'm just kidding. See, D went to breakfast for a first date. Where's the guy now? We'll wait,
In your
we'll wait
bed?
for a
Saying,
response.
No.
saying doing a podcast with me?
Where's the guy now?
D, let me ask you this. How awful was a breakfast date as a first date? I mean, it's just,
She probably likes breakfast.
who doesn't like breakfast?
I know a lot of
Belgian
people-
waffles?
A lot of people like breakfast.
I'll eat a lot of things for breakfast.
Pussy.
Yup.
Yep.
Yep. It happens.
Ask no, maybe.
He gone. Exactly.
Right?
He's gone, bro.
But was it a fun date?
It
That's
doesn't
the thing.
matter. He's not around anymore. Who gives a fuck how fun it was?
Maybe he got his and jammed on her.
Maybe she got hers and she jammed on him.
That's fine, but again, if it led to afternoon, if a breakfast date led to afternoon pussy, why the
Afternoon
fuck
delight.
wouldn't you guys go? Rick, because you're married, but if Michelle was abducted by aliens and, you know, that's it.
I would still love my wife, Kevin.
Yeah, but you would still have afternoon sex with a stranger.
She says I look cuter at night.
My funnest date
I
was
like-
with this gentleman right here.
I like
And
how
it was
she-
at Seal Beach paddle boating
Aw,
out
I
to
was, I
a.
was angry. That wasn't a date though.
I like
I
how
thought
she
it
said
was.
cuter.
Convenient.
I thought it was.
She didn't say cute. I look cuter.
Yeah. Well, she goes from like
4 to a 6.
I was gonna be nice. I would say like an 8 to a 10.
Oh.
Yeah, you're probably closer.
So, listen, have a conversation. I've said that about sex. I've said that about licking ass. I've said that about 69ing. I've said about a lot of things, squirting on your face. Just have a fucking conversation with the person.
Is it level?
Yeah,
So-
it was fine. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Since we've gone away from the podcast and into finding out if our podcasting table is level, I think that's probably about it for this week.
Yeah, I think so.
So, hit us up. Let us know whether you are a Del Taco or a Taco Bell fan.
And we'll know what your pussy smells like.
Possibly.
Oh, is that not where you were going with that?
And
Sorry.
and keep
And,
in mind, this is,
I do want to know, why is it okay for men to think, because I'm one of them, that a girl's gonna suck their dick and we don't have to eat their pussy? Because it's not usually.
Yeah,
girls,
tell us-
girls don't normally ask you to be like,
Go
eat
down
my
on me.
pussy too. Like
Yeah.
they just randomly.
tell us why it's okay for the Tubble standard, and be sure to submit photos of your pussy so we know what you're working with, because
Yeah.
that could
Sway our
sway our
judgment.
judgment.
Yeah.
So, hit us up. Let us know what you think. We appreciate all our fans. Thank you so much.